what the witnesses saw.
It was our wedding anniversary, and Rolly was taking me out for a meal. There was no time to change after work. Anyway, two silhouettes appeared out of the fog on the pavement in front of us. All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor, then the other scattered something before running off. He ran straight over them, of course, and then went for help at the nearby police box.
Oh, we ran. I thought, for some reason, I thought that was freaking, I'm like, Natsume who did that. I was like, wait, what the hell? I thought he said he, but no, she said we. Alright.
It was definitely that Japanese man in the dock. Rolly and I both saw him as clear as day.
Oh, I doubt it because it was foggy. And why are you talking? Why not the police?
Well,
Alright.
well, this is extremely compelling testimony, I must say.
It really is, but the policeman didn't say anything.
Oh dear, this policeman and his wife are claiming to have possibly identified Mr. Natsume at the scene. If their testimony is true, the alternative course of events that you established in the submission examination will be squashed.
Oh my god, we worked so hard for that, by the way. It's death null. Death nil, in fact. Because of that alternative was never viable in the first place. And the jury's like, wait, it wasn't? Guilty! What the fuck am I here for then? What why did we do that whole thing?
What an unfortunate be chancing, so I can't read today. And on your wedding anniversary too.
Oh, I know, but I still managed to go out. For the evening with my man. I thank the Lord for that.
Gosh, the life of London's Bobby sounds very hard indeed. It really is. Indeed, however, it's not hard on me because the prosecution life isn't very the best. Did I just say it's not very hard on me? Oh my god, I'm so sorry. How dare you? They're gonna think I'm a pervert. No, how dare you? This cross-examination will be over in minutes. You may well have time to rest this afternoon. What do you mean by that? My learned friend, the witnesses saw the face of the man fleeing the scene. They are testifying under oath that it was without a doubt the accused, Mr. Sosuke Natsume. And I only just a gasp. And one of these witnesses is a policeman, no less. So you appreciate the gravity of the situation, I'm sure. And then it was like the gasp again. Except that the man's so tired, his wife had to do all the talking. Exactly, the guy was so tired, apparently. How do we can be so certain? It was fucking foggy.
Remember, preamble, console for the defense, commence the cross-examination, please.
Yes, my lord. Alright. Rolly and Patricia. I think that's her name, right? I forgot. What the one is this? It was our wedding anniversary. Is it really your wedding anniversary? I doubt it. I'm gonna target you for this. No time to change after work, you say? Are you also a member of the police, Mrs. B?
Oh no, sadly not. It's a job of strapping young men only. Women, children, and elderly can't even apply.
Oh, what sexist. Meanwhile, the woman's like, oh, thank God, no. I did not want to be a police officer. Or something like that back then. But right now, it's like, how dare you? Women can do what men can do. And I believe that's true because sometimes they can outperform us. And I make it seem like I'm speaking for the men in general, but no, I can't really say for certain. But I have seen certain situations where they do perform better. Well, I think you can probably see why children and the elderly can't do the job, can't you?
I think Rolly looks ever so handsome in his uniform. It suits you down the ground, doesn't it, darling?
Pull him! Yes, wake him up! Yes, wake him up.
Huh? Am I awake? I just finished my beat.
It might be.
Pat and I were heading back to the station. I was actually planning on getting changed there. I'm so tired again.
Is he talking in his sleep? This is creepy. Hey, man, I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
Oh no, Rolly, I much prefer you in uniform. Sometimes I don't recognize you when I see you in plain clothes.
Oh dear.
That doesn't seem healthy.
Not at all, because he really is tired, so he doesn't have enough time to change, I guess.
Kindly adhere to the point. You're going for a meal after you had finished your beat for the day, correct?
That's right, sir. That's right, sir. Yes, although I was fit to the drop, to be honest, after spending the whole day on my feet. But policing is my life, sir. As long as I am proud owner of this, I'll serve my city and my queen to the end.
What's that now? Did you just grab it from his hand? Or did you just like, hey, what's that? What do you have on your hand?
Oh, my woman card, sir. Proof that I'm a London copper. It was a noble founding principles of the force written on it as a reminder to all of us policemen of our sworn duty.
I like how he's very passionate and awake when he's talking about his job, but when it comes to his wife or anything other than that isn't his job, he's like,
I'm so tired. To patrol the streets of London town and uphold the peace of the common man. Sir! And for such a noble cause, I cover 20 miles every single day without fail and without a grumble. Because I know that the plodding of my boots is all Londoners need to hear to feel safe and secure.
oh wow, I love this guy. Holy shit, he doesn't seem like a police officer, but his dedication makes me feel safe. Holy shit. So, fighting crime doesn't appear to come into it then.
But sir, just on that one particular day, I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary.
Oh, never mind. He is passionate about that.
Mrs.
Oh, never mind. He's going back to sleep. Oh, wait. What the fuck?
Mrs. B puts up with a lot being married to a Bobby. Like me, I wanted to show my dear wife how much I care. Oh, Pat. Oh, Rolly.
Oh, my God.
Oh, what a charming couple. Their young love is such a joy to behold.
If a little over the top, perhaps. He's just jealous. Ryunosuke's just jealous.
And then, kindly describe what happened next. Oh my god, they are so cute as fuck. Holy shit, they're so cute.
I wish I wish my wife and me were like this. Anyway.
Anyway, two silhouettes appeared.
Did they really appear? I doubt it. Hold it. Two silhouettes? How do you see two? One in... I'm sorry to say this, but olive green is one silhouette in general. And I doubt you can see two after seeing olive green. Or Olive, or whatever her name is.
That's right. They were coming towards us, walking up Briar Road in the opposite direction.
I'm sorry if I keep changing the volume. Oh, that's how she sees it. Okay. Wow, I did not assume that Natsumi would be that tall. Honestly, if I see those two silhouettes like that, I would assume like that the guy from the back is like, I know that's Natsumi, but the guy in the back looks like looks like a henchman, and the person in front, which is Olive, is like so menacingly like. They look like they're about to beat up the person, like the police officer and his wife. I don't know why. It kind of seems like that.
There was a rather plump figure followed by the scrawny, thin-looking man.
Oh my god. I feel like your husband is more scrawny than him. What? I feel like Natsumi is more lanky than scrawny, so...
That does sound like exactly the victim as pictured in his print. And like Mr. Natsumi.
I say he's lanky. He's not really skinny or whatever she says. Yes, unfortunately it does. And you're certain that at the time there was nobody else nearby?
Oh yes, quite certain. It was dark, but there are street lights on Briar Road, you see.
I don't. We're not there. Oh shit, I'm about to burp. Anyways,
there was nobody else around at all. Isn't that right, my darling?
Right? I'm choking you again. Actually, she's not really choking him. I'm just pulling him.
What? Yes, that's right. Of course, there was a light fog on the ground. But the Briar Road is dead straight, and you could see a fairly long way down the pavement. And then there's a street lighting as well. I didn't see any other pedestrians.
Shutting down. Oh, wait. Before sleep takes a firm hold, your answer, please, Mr. Beat. Are you quite sure of what you just said?
Yes, sir. I'm awake, okay? As a copper who spends all day, every day, keeping watch on the streets, I swear to it, sir.
It's his right hand that she's like saluting, right? Okay. I don't know why I put my left hand up.
I'm as sure as my love for Patricia is true. Oh, Pat. Oh, Rolly.
Oh my God! Just kidding. They're still maintaining there was no one else around other than the victim and the attacker. It's starting to seem like that must be how it really happened. It's beginning to seem that there's nowhere to run. Well, that didn't stop Mr. Natsume, did it? He fled the scene all too convincingly.
Thank you. I believe we have a reasonably clear idea of the situation just before the incident now. What happened to the crucial moments that followed?
Don't we know? Okay.
All of a sudden, one of them collapsed.
Did they really collapse, Patricia? Did they really collapse, Patricia? Well, scattered did nothing. Something. What do you mean by that?
Oh, well, I couldn't quite make out what it was at the time. But then when we got closer, we realized what it was.
Why is she blushing the whole time when she's like, why is she acting so madly in love during the scene of the cry? Like, what?
Didn't we, darling?
And pull him again. Like, wake up!
Oh, yeah, oh, okay.
I just realized the strap is in his mouth. What the fuck?
Well, yes, that's right. It was some old books.
I see. Old books. How old would you say? Like my age or like my grandparents' age? Just letting you know. I just want to know.
I can imagine the guy's actually 50, but he has a full-on beard.
Yes, sir. The culprit has dropped the numbers of them all over around where the victim laid on the pavement.
That's just so stupid. Like, if he killed someone, why leave the books there?
Indeed. Stupid indeed. As clearly pictured in the photographic print. Now then, that's...
Oh, man.
That rotten Japanese man did that when he did the deed.
Hold it! But why? Why have to say hold it? Okay. Let's not forget that it remains to be established that the defendant was indeed the attacker.
But we saw him! It was the man on the dock with that question, sir. I'm going back to sleep. The mustache and hunchback, the cat-like eyes, the taut mouth, the snub nose, everything.
Wow, he really is a cat, I guess, in their eyes. I don't really see him as a cat. Any more insults you want to throw in?
That's right. He looked down at the poor defenseless woman with those terrifying intense eyes. And then suddenly threw his books onto the pavement and ran away.
He threw his books? He's like, ha, stab, throw my books, then leave. What? No. Was the books a distraction or make a finishing kill, I guess? I see. This is tough. They seem as though they're telling the truth here. May I remind the court that this unambiguous testimony comes from the policeman and his wife. Now please continue. I just want everyone to know that it is a policeman stating this, okay? Yes, sir! You're not even talking. It's your wife that's talking. Okay, man. Alright, we ran straight over the course and then went help a nearby police box. Okay, what do you mean by that? Was it your husband who went to fetch help?
No. I went. I may not be a police officer myself, but I am the proud wife of one, after all. Isn't that right, my darling? Wake up, my darling, please. Stop falling asleep again. Oh, yes, that's right. I asked Mrs. B to go.
You call her Mrs. B? Not my beloved, my darling, my angel, my other half? What? You're just like, oh, Mrs. B. Okay, so I don't know.
I was off duty at that point. But Bobby's now truly off duty, of course, so I felt obliged to stay on guard the scene.
Very laudable, Mr. Bate. Preserving the scene of the crime is a task of considerable importance.
Well, yeah, no one will. It will be a shame that the cop doesn't look over the crime scene. I just realized Bobby hat. Why am I barely realizing these little details? His Bobby hat is tinted. What the hell happened there? Did he fell down once, or did he get shot? Holy shit. Anyways,
That's why I sent Patricia, you see. I told her where to find the right police box.
forgive my ignorance, but what do you mean exactly by the right police box?
Depends on the crime's location. You see as to who deals with it. Where the woman was stabbed wasn't actually on my beat.
What do you mean by that?
So I told Patricia the way to the police box for the beat the incident fell under so she could go and report it. I ran there as quickly as possible as I could, and I asked to help from the Bobby on duty. There is nothing more potent than a young couple in love working together, you know.
And thanks to your swift response and your romantic love, the case was quickly resolved. The actions of two model citizens. I applaud you. I wish I had a wife too. That way, we can be the ultimate prosecution duo. We strive to be like you, Mr. and Mrs. Beat. We do.
Oh, please. You flatter me. You're making me a blush. Isn't he, darling?
I did not expect her to give us that response at all. I don't know why, but just ad-libbing something just does justice, I guess.
Yes, sir. What Patricia said, sir.
I'm going back to bed. Oh my god. Let's move on, shall we, before he passes out again. And wow, that's everything. I guess we need to present evidence, I guess. I don't know, to find something wrong with the testimony. But surely you wouldn't have been able to see his face by the light of the gas street lamps, would you? Holy shit!
We absolutely could. Us Londoners have exceptional eyesight. I'll have you know. Unlike you, Nipponese people who don't even have their eyes wide open, only when they're shocked, I guess.
Okay, stop being racist, Jesus Christ. Hey, leave your husband alone. You let him sleep. Right, like right now, look at you, like having your eyes wide open right there.
The light of the street lamps was more than enough. And my husband told you that the fog was only light, didn't he? Are you calling my husband a liar?
Okay, yes, and what about the fog?
A famous word across the globe, I believe. But it's an absolute menace to those of us who have to live with it, of course.
I thought, I don't know, I always think walking in the fog is such a, not only dramatic, but cool thing to do. I don't know. I always thought that. But driving in the fog, hell no. That's dangerous. But walking in the fog, it feels so, I don't know. I feel more safe walking in the fog because you can just basically hide yourself without even trying. Like, I'm just saying.
Oh, it is. It is. When it's thick, you can't even see the hand on the end of your own arm.
What the fuck? What kind of fog is that? Yes, alright, I take your point.
Now, could you stop shaking your husband about? Okay, fine. I'm gonna ask because I love my husband. I don't want to wake him up anymore. Anyways, the constant fog makes our eyes very sharp. You see?
I'm sorry. I know I'm gonna say this. It's really exposing myself, but also being personal. If I ever get into a relationship, honestly, I kind of wish I have a partner or wife, regardless. I wish I have a wife that actually is not afraid to do that to me, like yank me like that forcibly. Not because like, oh my god, it's a kink. No, I just like, I don't know. I feel like the couples who would just not really hurt each other, but more like aren't afraid to get that physical, like that could harm them, or regardless. I don't know, I feel like that's true love right there. And the guy doesn't mind. He's like, I'm used to it. And I love it, or basically like that. Because I don't know, that's just my opinion. Okay, whatever, fuck it. Okay, anyways.
That's why we can tell you for sure the certain that it was that little Japanese man we saw.
I guess what I'm trying to say is more really, maybe I want like someone aggressive, more like dominant over me? I don't know, maybe it's that, but I don't know. This guy does seem like he's a submissive guy, but when it gets down to it, I think he is like dominant. Like not dominant, yeah, dominant in a relationship at times.
Can't we, darling?
Look at that.
Oh, I don't mind. Okay, thank you for waking me up. Yes. It was accused and no mistake. The mustache and the hunchback and the cat-like eyes and the top mouth and the snub nose unmistakably saw.
As far as the couple's testimony is concerned, there can't be any question. It was Sosuke and the son they saw running away from the scene of the crime. We got everything that we needed, so that's it, is it? That's their entire testimony? What do you think, Mr. Naruto? Well, I hate to admit it, but on hearing the testimony, it really does seem like Mr. and Mrs. Beat saw what they saw. What they say they saw, anyways. Mr. Natsumi running away from the scene of Briar Road that day. Yes, I feel the same. So if that's true, where does it leave us? The members of the jury are sure to call for a guilty verdict after this testimony. They're like, I don't read guilty. Oh no! Then what do we do? Another jury summation examination? I don't know. If Kazuma-sama were here, what are you trying to say? I'm not Kazuma-sama! I think he would try to find a contradiction somewhere else within their testimony. What do you mean, somewhere else? His statements about seeing Mr. Natsumi is unequivocal. Calling it into question won't help. But if you could identify some other part of their testimony which appears to contradict the facts, you might be able to discredit them to make the jury doubt if this pair's memory of the day is accurate. Alright. I mean, I do feel like there is, if you prove something wrong, right now people are believing the wife, not the husband, because he's not saying anything. Plus, if he did say something, they're gonna believe, well, he probably was tired, so is it really true that he saw it? But his wife is wide awake. It kind of seems calm and excited. But if we prove something wrong from her, then the jury will end up being like, well, I don't believe that. Like, I'm starting to doubt them now. Put simply, we must focus on the findings of discrepancy in the statement somewhere. If we don't, I'm afraid the trial may reach to an early and unfavorable conclusion. Why do I always seem to be so up against it? Anyways, but also, why would they lie? Yeah, like, why would they lie? They wouldn't want to lie, and I don't think they would have killed or stabbed the person, because I know for a fact that they don't seem those type of people. Like, these people don't seem that type of who would be to attack someone, unless, no, I already know. Alright, what the hell am I speculating? Like, I haven't played the game. I already played the game. But like what I'm trying to say is, why should we find a contradiction if they're lying? More like, see if they didn't see it well.
Mr. Lawyer, sir, can I ask you something?
Oh, yes, of course. What is it?
You keep asking us all these questions about everything we told you, so it seems like you don't believe our testimony. Is that right? Is it? Well, out with it.
What? No. Oh, no. It's really not that at all.
My husband's a policeman, remember? And I know what I saw. I remember every last detail, everything.
Like what?
Oh, I know. What about the books that the man dropped?
Okay.
I could tell you all the names of every single one. I could. Every single one. And you dare to question how reliable my testimony is?
Sorry about adding that. That's not what we're saying, Miss B.
No, it won't do at all. That Japanese lawyer has no idea what I'm capable of.
I am capable. I like how she's aggressive with her husband, but hides behind the sleeping husband to like defend herself. He's like, whoa, whoa, pow, pow. Look at that.
Even if I decide to forgive him for insulting us, don't think for a minute that Rolly will.
I really didn't mean to cause offense. Please put your husband's fist down. Oh God, put that gun down.
Perhaps you would like the opportunity to supplement your testimony, Mrs. Bate. Might that appease you?
Yeah, okay, I stop hiding my husband.
Oh, thank you, my lord. That would settle things nicely. What is it, darling? Oh, yeah, whatever. I'm still sleeping. No, don't wake me up.
Alright, that was mandatory. We needed to press everything in order for us to get this extra dialogue. Which is, I could even tell you the names of the 4 books dropped at the scene. 4 books. 4. If you see here, on the picture, there's only 3 books. Now, we also see that Mr. Natsume got 3 books. So how the fuck is there 4 books? And by the way, I'm going to present this. Later on I'm going to do a little cut. But, oh, fuck, not that. Okay, I'm going to present this. But if you see a small cut, it's because we're going to go back to the dialogue again with Susato and Rinosuke talking, like, what do I do? And stuff like that. But anyways, I know that I'm already planning what I'm going to do. I mean, I don't really need to explain it, but I'm just giving a heads up, regardless. Yes, later on, we're like, why the hell did he cut right there? Like, yes, we know that there were books dropped at the scene of the crime, as you say. Those purchased by the accused at the nearby second-hand bookshop on the day in question.
After I've been in the police box for help, I decided to have a good look over the area for a good measure. I am a proud policeman's wife. After all, I did it for Rolly.
And what was your husband doing at the time?
He was lying face
Down in the snow, getting some well-deserved rest. Aww, I feel bad for the guy. Dude, how tired he had to be able to sleep in the cold. Not only on the cold, the fucking cold snow too. Holy shit.
He works ever so hard, you know. Ever so hard. Don't you, my darling?
Interesting way of guarding the scene of the crime.
Well, Mrs. Bate, and seeing I shall regale the court with tales of your powers of recollection, would you be so kind to recount the titles of the books you observed at the scene?
I'd be happy to. Now, are you all listening?
Okay.
There was the picture of Monsieur somebody or other.
Okay. And the What's It Yearnings. Okay. Let's actually look what it is, by the way. What are the names? The picture of Monsieur Lecoq. Lecoq. Or is it Lecoq or Lecoq? I don't know. And the Yearnings of something, whatever she said. The Canterbury Yearnings. And the Meal of Garibou.
And then there was a meal for someone. And the last, and definitely, the Thimgumming some.
What the fuck? Thimgumming something.
You see?
I don't. Yes, I see there are the 1 or 2 holes in your memory.
Oh, well, they were all along those lines, I'm quite sure.
Well, she got half of them right. There were indeed books found at the scene with titles along with those lines, as you put it.
Well, what did I tell you? So I think it's very mean the way you've been implying that my testimony can't be trusted. Don't you agree, darling?
Anyone who puts up a petition will have me to answer to. Okay, whatever. He got angry. Wait, I thought policemen aren't able to carry guns. Wait, what? Was this back then that they are able to hold a gun? I thought they can't have a gun on them, but only batons or other weapons. But they can have a gun? Back then, I guess. I don't know. What the hell?
I'm gonna make this use all my energy for that outburst. I'm so sorry. And my voice hurts. I'm just gonna go sleep.
Terrifying. Even he's scared of me. Yes, she really is. She really is. I found that funny. Anyways, cut right here. And we're back from where we last started. Anyways, we're gonna present right here. I don't know what to present first, but I could say this because it only shows 3 books. So you're saying that there were 4 books?
That's right. I remember all of them. The picture of Monsieur somebody, the what's it yearnings, and a meal for someone, and a thimmy gummy something.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Beat. But there's a fundamental flaw in that statement of yours. I feel like Greenowski's about to get embarrassed himself right here, because there's gotta be another picture where it shows the other book.
Oh no! What flaw?
Holy shit! Why are you being so aggressive right now? Simply that at the scene of the crime, there were only 3 books, not 4. What? Have a good look at the photographic print of the scene of the crime. As you can clearly see, there are only 3 books.
Oh no! But no! That can't be. I saw them. Oh, I know what it is. Yes, you can't fool me.
I'm sorry?
It's that big lump of a dead body. That lady's so large, her corpse is blocking the view of the 4th book. That's all.
That's all. At least try to remember the poor woman isn't dead, even if we're insulting her size. Don't even, Ryunosuke! Fuck you, Ryunosuke! You fucking insulted Mrs. Garadev for her size too, and calling her strong to replace fat. Don't even criticize of body shaming. Don't even. You're the last person to say that. No, I'm sorry, Mrs. B. But Mr. Natsumi could not possibly have dropped the 4 books you describe.
Why not?
Fascinating. And from your assured tone, something you can readily substantiate with evidence, I presume. Evidence? Oh shit, you have to
Consul, you will present evidence to substantiate your claim or withdraw it. What proof do you have? What is that the accused did not drop 4 books?
Okay. Well, if we look at the second-hand book receipt, of course, we're presenting that. Not the R1 button, I'm using triangle. By the way, I don't even have my controller on me. I have it in charge. I had to go reach for it to get it. Anyways, the evidence is right here, in the form of the bookshop receipt.
From your books.
Yes, this receipt details Mr. Natsumi's purchase that day. But as you can see, only 3 books are listed. Now we're proving that he was there. Honestly, we're trying to prove that he wasn't, but now he was there. And that whole jury examination wasn't really... It was pointless. Oh well. We'll see.
No.
Therefore, Mr. Natsumi could have only dropped 3 books at the scene of the crime. Which means that your powers of observation, madam, cannot be relied upon.
No, I would grr, but no. Because I'm not a furry.
So, it can't be denied that though you say it was a defendant you saw, you could very well be mistaken.
Oh no. Oh no.
And he's like, ah! He falls asleep again.
Objection!
So freaking. What you gotta say? It's plainly evident that it is your powers of deduction that cannot be relied upon, my learned Nipponese friend. What? Let me boil my cool as I explain. What cannot be denied is that these 2 witnesses saw the accused running from the scene. A fact that you know very well you have no hope of disproving. I'm not disproving. Okay, at this point, I'm not gonna disprove it because we should not be able to disprove this because it's the truth. Mitsu Natsume saw him and he saw the victim fall, and ran away. We can't disprove that. But what we can disprove is that they claim that they saw Mr. Natsumi behind them and stabbed the woman. But we can't disprove that because we know the truth. We cannot we know the truth that we can prove that because he said it himself. He didn't do anything to the woman. We trust him. We believe him. So we know we have to figure out how this person got stabbed instead. He was there. We know for certain. We can't not be like, oh, we can't deny it right now because he was there. He left his books there. But there has to be something else because there's a fourth book. And also there's a knife on her back. Where did they come from? We need to know that. So you're striving to avert attention from that by dint of some inconsequential discrepancies. Would that be fair? He seems right through me. But your plan has somewhat recoiled against you. What are you talking about? It's quite simple. Let me explain with a toast of Glulade. To the policeman's wife and her entirely accurate testimony in every respect.
Oh?
You see, the matter is not up for debate. At the scene of Briar Road, a total of 4 books were most definitely found.
Objection.
But what about the photographic print? It only shows 3 books. And then where's the books for evidence, by the way? Might as well have him. How? Why isn't it part of the evidence? Record. Alright. Only 3 can be seen in that print. That print? You mean to say there are 2 pictures? Allow me to present another. One that shows the victim's hand. And now we can't claim. That it's not his book because it kind of shows that it's her book then. Well, which is weird. Why would she have that though? The Lion's Bride. Wait a minute. We've heard that book before. I don't believe it. It's the 4th book. As you well observe. The 4th book was hidden from view in the original print by the victim's torso. No. I would not scream, no! And then he like hits his ground. Hit the wall. Order! Order!
There, you see? Look at that. Look.
Yes, I see. I'm looking.
It's just like I said, isn't it, my darling? Yes, sir. Patricia's always right, sir.
Let us study the receipt for the books purchased by the accused on the day in question. Mrs. Meat, the titles once again, if you please.
Oh, yes, of course. The picture of Monsieur somebody or other.
The picture of Monsieur Lecoq.
What's in yearnings?
Canterbury yearnings.
And a meal for someone.
A meal for Gabaru, in fact. As the court just heard, the witnesses remembers the books, titles flawlessly. Not really, but still. Save for the few minor details. Mrs. Beat's power recollection can only be described as exceptional.
Did you hear that, Rolly? The gentleman paid me a compliment. Yes, sir. Flawless, sir. Patricia is flawless.
But there are only 3 books on the receipt, and Mrs. Beat mentioned 4. There's nothing surprising about that. Clearly the 4th book is that which that shows in this photographic print.
I'm sorry, Consul, but it does not seem odd. Why should the 4th book be omitted from the receipt?
It's not odd at all, my lord. Do we have to draw you a picture instead of showing you a picture. As the photograph clearly shows, the fourth book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, it belongs to the victim.
Exactly. Unless we can disprove that. The victim was holding her own book. I'm so sorry, audience, for that noise. I accidentally touched my mic and it swerved. I don't know if you can hear that, but anyways, I'm sorry about that. I wonder what became of the first book.
Obviously, it wasn't overlooked by investigating officers at Scotland Yard. I have it here as evidence.
You will submit that and for the aforementioned photographic print to the court, please, Consul.
My pleasure, my lord.
The second-hand crime scene photograph has been entered to the court record, and the fourth book has been entered to the court record. Oh.
The prosecution rests.
Fuck me with my objection attack, damn it.
I have nothing further to add.
What?
You seem surprised, my learned friend. But your resistance until now has been in vain. Entertaining, yes, but futile. Disperse along the route to the accused lodgings that you try to establish in your submission examination, and the attempted discrediting of the witness's powers of recollection in your cross-examination.
Futile?
I walked right into this, didn't I?
You see, everything we said is true. Isn't that right, my darling? Yes, Pat. Marry me, Pat.
We already married, what the fuck? So perhaps the ladies and gentlemen of the jury would like to reconsider their positions. Should the court waste any more time on this Nipponese travesty?
Okay, so now we're going to take a break right here with the dialogue. We're going to look at the evidence now. Let's look at it. We got the new crime scene photo. As you can clearly see, it's ruined. And the Lion's Pride. We've already heard that title before. Second photograph of the scene taken by a policeman just after the incident. It specifically shows the victim's hand. Now, the fourth book. The book entitled The Lion's Pride, discovered in the victim's hand at the scene. Let's look at it. It is called The Lion's Pride, and I think Ryunosuke has something to say about it. Let me see. It's a book entitled The Lion's Pride. I'm afraid I don't know any English literature at all. So it wouldn't be something I've heard. Wait a minute. The Lion's Pride? That's strange. I think I have heard the book by that name before. And very recently, too. It's a title I recognize too, Naruto. Alright. Now let's look over here. Yep, remember the fire in Mr. and Mrs. Garrett Deb's house? It's this book. Oh, look at this. It looks like badly burnt. You're right. You'd say you'd never be able to read it in the state, especially not the latter pages. What a terrible waste. Judging by the scorched edges of the paper, I think the damage must be occurred very recently. A book recently damaged by fire. Why does that seem to raise a red flag with me? Because we already know where there was a fire once, and the book. That's why, Ryunosuke. So now you got more information on that. Title, blah, blah, blah. The back cupboard is badly burnt. All right. Anyways, continue on with the testimony. Or more not testimony, but conversation.
Or, how dare you interrupt me? I wasn't finished monologuing. Or is the decision you have to make all too apparent already? You have heard all of the witnesses and see all the evidence. This trial has run its course.
Mr. Naruto, I'm afraid we are on a terribly precarious position. I know, but if I fight back in the wrong way now, I could very well must make matters worse. Think, Ryunosuke, think. What do you do now? We have to. We can't wait and see. We really can't. Otherwise, we'll be screwed. We have to raise an objection. We really do.
Objection!
I'm not done yet.
No, my learned friend. It's over. The last cross-examination was your final chance to establish a credible defense, and you failed. Well, that's what the judges decide, not you, prosecutor. The die has been cast. There is no more room for debate. Well, it might be over as far as you're concerned, but... Come on, Ryunosuke. I can't think of what to say. If I may, Lord Von Zieks. Thank you, Susato. It seems somewhat boorish to close down the debate at this point. Ooh, what do you mean by that, Susato? Your insignificant little Eastern Isles must be a lawless hole indeed. For a lowly judicial assistant to have the audacity to intervene at a moment like this. Oh? Aw, man. No, Ryunosuke, back her up! I am, to my shame, still very inexperienced lawyer. So you will have to forgive me, but I consider my assistant's advice essential and her opinions invaluable. Mr. Naruhodo. There you go. There you go, man. There you go. That's how you do it.
Very remarkable, man. I have respect for you. The one's learned right writing principles is tolerant, so the current court will hear you, madam.
Go ahead, Mr. Sato. Please. Very well. Pray, what insight can you give us? What have we all overlooked in this matter that you see fit to pursue further? The evidence you barely presented to us, honestly. Oh well, the court has been presented with new evidence, but only after the last cross-examination finished.
I see. And you believe that this new evidence warrants further examination, do you?
Ooh, so true. Mr. Naruhodo, what do you think? It's just possible that this new evidence might be the decisive proof we've been waiting for. The judge is sure to ask the members of the jury to announce their leanings in a moment. You're right about that. And of course, he's sure to ask you to explain what the crucial piece of evidence is and why. So we must take this opportunity to examine the newly presented evidence as thoroughly as possible, which I already did. Yes, I understand, and thank you, Mrs. Sato. This is it. Sato-san has managed to win us one last chance here. And I can't let it go to waste. If this were a Japanese court, they would be like, shut up, woman. But good thing this is an English court, and they allow her to be here. So I'm happy about that. The defense wishes to present evidence, my lord.
Very well. The defense may present one further piece of evidence. Evidence that apparently offers a profound insight into the case as to hetero been overlooked.
Well, this one, of course. It's burnt. Has no one noticed it? The evidence in question is what we can see from the newly presented photographic print of the crime scene. The fourth book found in the victim's hand.
Objection!
We have already discussed the fourth book at length. Other than it being the victim's grasp at the time of the incident, no significance has been attached to it. Pursuing the matter further would be flagrant waste of the court's time, as you well know. Why are you so defensive of this book? Unless you know it is a huge discrepancy here.
Yes, I'm afraid, Consul, I must concur with the prosecution on this matter. When I afforded you this opportunity, you led the court to believe that the evidence in question contained a hetero undiscovered clue. So I must insist you elaborate, Consul. You will identify this one clue at once. Do I make myself clear?
Oh, yes, my lord. It's, Mr. Naruhodo. I believe the prosecution is trying to avoid the thorough examination of the evidence. Exactly! She really is, which means you may very well be on the right track. Yes. I think you might be right. Stress stranding you right now.
So, Consul, precisely where is the vital clue to this case, which this fourth book conceals?
show us precisely where the clue of this. Yeah, whatever. You just already show us a burn mark, guy. My guy. I would ask the court to observe the back of the book in question.
The back? What do you... Good gracious. It's been burned to a crisp.
So we have to ask ourselves, why was the victim clutching what is clearly an unreadable book? And it is undeniably an extremely unnatural thing for her to have been doing.
Objection!
Unnatural, you say? And what of it, my Nipponese friend? Oh? Were I to concede the point? Were I to concede the point? Wait, I said it right. What the hell am I saying? If it bears no relation to the case, there is nothing to discuss. So, should you wish to assert that this fire damage is some veiled clue as to what happened that day? Pray, do enlighten us all. What truth does this charred book hide? A charred book. There's just one possibility here, which I can't quite bring myself to rule out. It's an outside chance, certainly, but worth a try. Alright, I'll explain my theory.
Don't keep us waiting any longer then, Counsel. Please explain this theory of yours. What are you suggesting that you are certain from the fire damage to the sorry home has suffered?
The shop sold it. Its owner. Its content? No, its owner. My lord, the burn on the back of this book reveals a startling truth about the book's owner.
I beg your pardon?
But we already know who the book belongs to. The victim was gripping it in her hand and she fell to the floor. After all, it's obviously hers.
The question of how the book came to be in the victim's hand has yet to be answered. However, as to the questions of who the book really belongs to and where it originated, the defense has a very credible answers.
Good gracious, how can you possibly...
Very well, I'll play along with your futile attempt to delay your inevitable demise. But do remember, the members of the jury may well burn you if your little calvo goes awry.
Quote the counsel, the defense's response here is very likely to influence the final outcome of this trial. So tell the court, who do you claim its owner for this burnt book?
I know who to present. Actually, is he here? Oh, he is here. But we could do this one. But we're gonna actually have this guy instead. John Garrett. It is his favorite book. The answer is that the book belongs to a couple of who own the house where the defendant has his lodgings. A certain Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb. The landlords. And whether this is some extraordinary coincidence or some kind of fate at work, I don't know, but of all the people in London, one of the 6 chosen for the jury duty is in this courtroom today. It's none other than the Mrs. Garrideb herself.
Oh my goodness, me? I think you must be mistaken, sir.
Well, you just clearly stated,
I'm not Mr. Garrett's wife. I'm his maid.
Why did you say you're Mrs. Garrideb then? Things would be so much easier if you would just drop the pretense. Alright. How about a simple question for you? Have you ever seen this book in Mr. Garrideb's house?
I would never presume to know all the books he keeps, sir.
Objection!
This is outlandish behavior. This woman is the accused landlady, you say. You implicate this hard-working member of the public. You'd besmirch her without a shred of evidence. Your actions are unforgivable.
Objection!
No, we're not. This is not mere conjecture. The defense happens to know that on the day in question, at almost exactly the same time as the victim was stabbed on the pavement below, Another incident was taking place in the room on the top of Mr. and Mrs. Garredub's house.
Good lord, what sort of incidents, Counsel?
We're such as narcs. Oh my god, we're actually snitching about this. A fire, my lord. He told us to keep it a secret, but we're not.
Pray to say it was. Happened to be in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see about a thing. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The parlor furniture started going up as well. Worst of it is, I lost my favorite book called The Lion's Pride.
The Lion's Pride!
Why, Tom, the same title. That's the subject of this debate. And he kind of sounds like me. I just realized that. Holy shit, he sounds so sexy.
Shut up, Ricky. Oh, dear me.
Objection!
This is reasonable. All you told the court is that a book by the same name was involved in a fire. In which case, it would be reasonable to assume that it was burned to ashes. And entirely unreasonable to infer that it magically removed itself to the scene of the crime. Perhaps it would make more sense if I told you that the cause of the fire was marital discord. Without going into details, it appears that Mrs. Garredub was considerably enraged. Apparently, she continued to attack Mr. Garredub even amid the flames.
Oh, how awful. I can't imagine being so horrid to the one you love. Can you, Rolly?
Says the girl that re-eggs him.
Absolutely not, sir. My British would never raise a finger against me, sir. She raises something, but not a finger. Oh, God. Please don't hurt me.
And all my favorite old novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got hold of them, that was it. Whoosh, whoosh, up to in smoke. Then the wife started hurling things at me. There I was, back against the window, under a heavy enemy fire. Incredibly incendiary, books incoming 10 to the dozen. My lord, the man had his back against the window, and Hugh had burning books thrown at him. Goodness gracious, are you suggesting that the book was thrown through the window and landed coincidentally at the scene of the crime?
Objection!
What is impossible? No! A thorough investigation of the surrounding area was concluded the very evening of the incident. Wow! The police is really on the case right here. Holy shit. And there is no report of Garredub's window pane being broken. That's quite true. We also saw no sign of broken glass when we visited the Garredub household. But it is not conceivable that the window was open at the time in. Not even remotely! Let us not forget that the season and the chilling weather that accompanies it. No Londoner would ever leave the window open in the middle of the winter. Well, no Londoner, yes, in the middle of winter, but no Londoner would not open a window when there's a fire, regardless of the seasons. Oh shit! Computer. Ah.
Does the defense postulate this scenario in all seriousness, counsel? Do you earnestly claim that the book found the scene of was a flaming projectile thrown by the Garredub's house? Wife, I mean.
I believe it's a possibility, my lord. And look at her being quiet. That's quite enough! It was not me. It was her.
Well, I hope that everyone can see you for what you are now. You little foreign trickster. You can call yourself a lawyer, but you're just a coward, a mean coward.
How am I a coward? How am I a coward? I'm not the one being attacked. I'm not the one who was on trial. I'm the one finding out the truth. You're the one who's stating that you're not. You're being the coward yourself because you're hiding yourself. Like, I'm not her wife. His wife. I'm a fucking maid and everything. And also racist too, for the fact like that. But not only that, you don't want to claim that you actually threw that book at him. Really? Me?
claiming that our little tip set a whole neighborhood alight, honestly. Implying that I'm merely posing as a maid for appearance's sake. How could you?
That's all you, group madam.
It's nothing to do with this beastly case. Not any of it. All you've done is sully our family's name.
No, I assure you, that was never my intention.
Dragging up upstanding citizens' name through the mud simply to divert attention from your failing defense.
Oh, thank God that guy freaking avoided that. Holy shit. What kind of woman does that? She really is such a fucking abusive wife. This is what I mean. I'd rather have Patricia abusiveness, like not abusive, like her style of love rather than this woman. Because I know she's the type of like, I hit because I care. I don't like that. I really don't like how people do that. Like, like do that fucking slap. I know I just said I prefer a partner to be like, you know, not too afraid to do stuff like that. But also she hits because she does it to hurt someone. Then clearly she was about to hurt someone she did not know if he hadn't dodged that. Holy shit.
I should box your ears, and that's what I should do. It's utterly unforgivable.
Too right. Here we go. How long do we have to sit here now, listening to this Nippuni sprouting out his fanciful theories? But think about it. At the end of the day, the only person who could possibly have stabbed the victim is that little hunchback with a mustache, and he ran away from the scene too.
I do declare you're right.
It's true. Yes, what did I tell you?
Makes sense to me.
Sorry, what's that?
Well, it would appear that the ladies and gentlemen of the jury are once again in full agreement. Fuck. What is your position, Lord Von Six?
In truth, my lord, it appears these have been unnecessarily protracted proceedings. But then, one must always exercise patience in order to savor the best vintage. No! Wait! The mystery of the fourth book still hasn't been. And I use my feet instead on my hands. Because I am a professional. If books are your predilection, my learned friend, study them on your own time. Ooh. What? No, forgive this discourtesy this time.
In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will now state your individual decisions regarding the defense's culpability for the court to hear.
Guilty!
Oh shit!
Guilty.
We're gonna do another one, aren't we?
Guilty.
Jury summation examination.
Guilty.
You barely heard anything, man. Why are you deciding guilty? What? Another fire. I guess this is what the fucking Mrs. Garrett wanted. She should start another fire, I guess.
Thank you for the unambiguous response.
That's twice now. It's over. So now, don't give up. Mrs. Sato? Have you forgotten? The battle isn't over yet. You're not suggesting. Of course, the defense has the right to another submission examination at this point. You could still convince the jurors to change their minds. You have one more chance. Alright. My lord, the defense asks to exercise its right to a submission examination. Oh my god! You believe you still have tricks up your sleeve. I don't intend to trick anybody. I intend to uncover the truth. This is no time to be a downcast. As long as there's a chance, I have to stay strong and determined.